This is Kathy Solheim, and I'm going to be talking to you about symposia. They are similar in some ways to the paper sessions, but they are a predetermined set of papers are accepted as a symposia through the submission and acceptance process. Once accepted, then the presenters in the symposia have some work to do to really develop a cohesive set of papers and conversation on the same topic. So this is really where people highlight different aspects of an area of study. And it's really important that the lead presenter sets the stage and provides an overview of how these papers will all contribute to our understanding, deeper understanding of this topic. Once the lead presenter shares that, then each of the papers is presented by the individual authors. It will be a shorter time than in a paper session and fewer slides than what Jeff recommended, primarily so that you can get to what really I think makes the symposium format stand out as different. And that is that the discussant has a key role and has time. I've been in sessions where the time runs out and the discussant has 2 seconds to kind of give something that will leave you with some last grain of thought. But this is really not what the idea is. It's for the discussant to take some time to provide some synthesis across the papers. We want to make sure that the discussants don't tackle each paper individually, because the presenters have already shared that information. So this is where the discussant spends time beforehand by reading the paper in plenty of time. Here's a note. Presenters need to get the discussant those papers in enough time so that he or she can really sit down and think through that synthesis. And they might talk then about the strengths of this group of papers, what we know with more confidence as a result of listening to these different kinds of papers, and then maybe point out some areas of growth or new research questions that seem to be pointed to for this line of research. It's really important that the depth object is kept in mind. We need to, as discussants, identify key points, and then the discussant can reflect back to the presenters and ask questions for follow-up. So if a good symposium is going well, there's some dialogue within the group that's up there in a really strong way. One of the things that it's important to remember is that as you're going through the submission process, that the papers hang together in some important ways. They don't all have to be from the same data set, although that is one option. It may be that you have a topic that people have done some unique and interesting things that bring different theoretical or methodological perspectives to the topic at hand. And one thing I think people enjoy about the symposia is that when they go in there, they hear from a variety of these perspectives, and they get maybe some conflicting results that come out of the papers, but then there's an opportunity to grapple with that. Why might that have happened? What does it say about what we're talking about? And really pushes the depth of our understanding of that particular topic. So that's how the symposia really differs from the paper, in that it's the overview from each of the different presenters, and then it's the discussant that brings things together and synthesizes. I guess I would echo what both Jeff and Shelley have said. This is not something that a group of people can just meet at the conference and say, okay, we're going to present and let's go. They really do have to be prepared. They need to talk to one another. What are you going to present? What am I going to present? And they need to have conversations with the discussant ahead of time, as well as having the discussant have copies of those papers, so that synthesis, that depth, emerges from a strong symposium. I think these are great. This is a great format, and so I really encourage you to both to think about it, but practice that so that those of you that are presenting at the conference really give participants a nice, integrated, deep presentation on the topic that's near and dear to your heart.